Yeah, so as I say, five rhythms is one of many, what are now many forms of conscious dance. I personally have been involved with another school called the School of Movement Medicine, and also I'm interested in another offshoot of the five rhythms called the Open Floor. All of them include some form of an understanding that life is about relationship and relatedness, relationship to ourselves, relationship to another, relationship to community, and relationship to the wider world, and if you like, all beings, in order to open the frame such that we're looking at sustainability at all levels of being. And I would say all forms of conscious dance help develop a deeper awareness of that sense of relatedness. And also the quality, as many of you will know from your psychotherapeutic practice, that what's really important in the psychotherapeutic relationship, whatever form of psychotherapy we practice, is the quality of the relational field between the therapist and the client. And I would say through all forms of conscious dance, we're also developing the quality of presence, empathy, kindness, compassion, acceptance, life force that exists in that relational field, in the space inside of ourselves and the space between us. But then if I come specifically to the five rhythms practice itself, which is a dance practice that I've been involved in since maybe 1997, something like that. And as I say, I danced for 7-10 years just for myself, 2 or 3 times a week, before I ever thought about training to teach, because it gave me so much and it helped me digest the depth and intensity of my work as a therapist. And I would say the dance works at different levels. There's the level of it can develop our creativity and our sense of connectedness with our creativity. It develops our physical competency to be with all things. It develops our ability to be able to make everything that arises inside of ourselves a dance. It develops our ability to be instinctive and intuitive and learn to follow without thinking. So it helps us make a journey from our mind all the way down through our body to our feet, and to learn to follow and trust a flow of life. As I say, movement is really a metaphor for so many things. It also brings a profound joy just by the natural ecstasy, if you like, of dancing. And it brings a greater embodiment and sense of integration of our body, our heart, and our mind. So another aspect of the dance that is so important is dancing with another person. And if you imagine 2 people dancing together, as you saw in the video, it's a dynamic process, which it is when you work as therapy and client. There's a dynamic process going on there. And through the dance, you can practice how it is to be in relatedness. Are my boundaries clear? Do I get lost in you? Do you get lost in me? Do I hold my sense of independence so strongly that I have no permeability to the dynamic unfolding of a dance or relatedness between you and me? And so I love it. I love the dance for that as well. It's a constant unknowing of how to be with others. But to come back to the point, the five rhythms. The five rhythms is a very elegant, simple, beautiful form of conscious dance, and was developed through intuition and creativity, as I said. And the five rhythms are flowing, staccato, chaos, lyrical, and stillness. And as I said, there are 5 stages of this wave of energy that Gabrielle observed pass through a room as she invited the medicine of dance. So in flowing, just very, very briefly, it's the rhythm of landing in yourself, of finding what's here, listening, of accepting, receiving your condition as it is in this moment, and that being the basic ground of wherever we start with anything. And these 5 rhythms are very archetypal landscapes. They appear in many faces of life. So you could say they are stages of the therapeutic journey also. So in staccato, we learn the ability to express what we find. So we land in what we're with in flowing, then we learn how to express it and allow it through the body and find, if you like, the creative forms of expression of what is happening, as well as the cathartic forms of expression. At the same time, we're learning expression from our own ground so that we're not dumping it on other people. It's not about dumping. It's about really learning to, how can I embody, show up, express my feelings, let them in, out and through, and let them go. And then in chaos, the third of the 5 rhythms, the masculine of staccato, the feminine of flowing come together, unify to create the rhythm of surrender, if you like, the rhythm of release, the rhythm of letting go of everything that is present. So you could say it looks like a shaking, a form of an ecstatic dance practice. And then having emptied out, having found where we are in flowing, expressed where we are in staccato, let it all go in chaos. There's more space inside, empty space. And the 4th rhythm, lyrical, is the rhythm of listening to new creativity, of listening to new movements, of listening to life as it's birthing itself in each moment through ourselves. So you could say it's the rhythm of our soul, really more of ourselves starts to come through in unexpected and new ways. And then in the rhythm of stillness, we start to see whatever's left. All that's left might be movement, emptiness, presence, shaping our prayers, shaping our gratitude for whatever's emerged through the dance. And that's just one description. You also saw another description through witnessing the video. But it provides an archetypal framework whereby we can drop deeply into working with what's happening inside of ourselves, drop deeply in learning how to move with emotions, embody emotions, express emotions, learn how to empty out the mind, make the journey from the head to the feet, learn how to move with our creativity and inspiration and instinct, and learn how to be in a more vertical connection of prayer, of soulfulness, of emptiness, whatever words you like to use for a connectedness to spirit. So that's just a tiny taste of the 5 rhythms. I would say for me personally, and this is the last thing I'll say, the integration of psychotherapy and movement practice is something that's emerging more and more and more. And I believe in the same way that spirituality and psychotherapy have been through a whole integration process, embodiment and psychotherapy and spirituality are now going through an integration process that enables us to more and more learn what it is to be a whole person, which I think all of us as a humanity is starting to find and discover as we live. So for me, when I offer workshops, I often weave in psychotherapeutic inquiries into the dance, which helps to share and speak in words, tell our stories, as well as then working in movement. So it's like a weaving of words and movement and inquiry. And for me, the dance has been an invaluable tool in terms of coming back to myself. And I really hope that one day many of you get an experience of the medicine of movement. And I wish you many good things for the rest of your conference. I think the subject matter is really exciting, interdisciplinary, connections and psycho-body connection. These are really the subjects of our time, and how we can stop trying to all be special and experts and learn to collaborate together in the idea that each one of us is a holder or a gateway of a particular form of truth. And the more that we learn to share and get curious about those and put them into a big cooking pot, I think the more that we find our way. So many blessings, and I wish you a beautiful couple of days. Bye bye.